Shalom, shalom, shalom. And welcome to you all on Jaw Radio and on YouTube. Your kingdom's coming down. As today we are going to be digging more deeply into Know Your Tribe. And we are going to be looking at an introduction to the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs.
Consumed with unrighteousness, his time is nearly done. Let Yahuwah's kingdom come, let Yahuwah's will be done. Whoa, yasharal, your kingdom's coming down. Yasharal, your kingdom's coming down.
Hey, shalom, shalom. McNair. Shalom, shalom.
Your king is coming now.
Shalom, McNair. Welcome to Jaw Radio.
Put on the priestly garments, yeah, there's no turning back. Follow after righteousness, this world is nearly done. Let Yahuwah's kingdom come, let Yahuwah's will be done. Whoa, yasharal, your kingdom's coming down.
All right, getting ready to begin in a few. Shalom, shalom, Mike.
Yasharal, your kingdom's coming down. Your king is
A reminder that
your king is coming now.
Shalom, Mike. A reminder that we should always, we will be today, Yahuwah willing, live on Yahuwah's Righteousness Radio. I think it's about 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Standard Time. I think it's about 8:30 our time, so about 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. We should be on Yahuwah's Righteousness Radio as well. All right. Yasharal, your kingdom's coming down. Sister Naomi, Yasharal, your kingdom's coming down. Okay. Shalom, Yada. Shalom, Erica. Shalom, Irma. Verse stand. Shalom to you all. What was it? On Friday we did a teaching. Let me recall this. Yes, on Friday we did a teaching. On Friday we did a teaching entitled Know Your Tribe. Know Your Tribe. And so we decided that that was just going to be an introduction into Shalom on my way home from UK. Shalom. Know Your Tribe. So we said that was going to be an introduction into the Testament of the Patriarchs. Because our sister received a dream and it pointed to us doing the Testament of the 10 Patriarchs. Now this book, the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, we have a copy. You can download it from our website, justaword.org. Let me put it up here on the screen. Just a word. Download from justaword.org/downloads. Okay? Let me get this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm just setting it up so you can get the download link on the page. That goes there. And it still is not right. Let me get it in line, and that should be it. So let's get the downloads page down on the download, down at the bottom. here is the link to download the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, for those who might not have heard about it. Now, this book, the Testament of the 12, it is one of those hidden books. One of those hidden books. One of those books they told us not to read. And when you read this book, you see the wickedness in these people. This book is so powerful. And I say the same about the books of the Nazarene, and the same about the Shepherd of Hermas. Those two books are so powerful, and the book of Yabelim or Jubilees, so powerful. And they told us not to read them. And the reason being because of religion. Religion cannot tolerate any testing. Religion only tolerates the manipulation of a fixed amount of text, which they use to find and pick out verses to validate their religion. But in 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 21, that apostle they call Shaul. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 21. Shaul gave us a very powerful verse that should be the hallmark of how we operate. He said, "Prove all things, hold fast that which is good." So anyone that tells you, you must not read this, you must not try to prove this, then that is a fallacy. Prove all things. Let's see what the meaning of prove is. Prove means, let me put it on the screen. It's dokimazo, which means to test, literally or figuratively. So Shaul is telling you, test all things. So why did they tell us not to read these books? When the word tells us to test all things, by implication to approve, to allow. It didn't say to disallow. It says to allow, to discern, to examine. Examine all things. Like, approve, try all things. You see? And these people tell us, do not read it. So who is that instruction coming from? It is coming from Hasatan, because we keep telling you the same thing over and over again. Christianity is Hasatan's religion. Satan is who is worshipped in the religion called Christianity. So they tell us not to prove all things. Yes? But the Bible tells us to prove all things. So they told us, only read 66 books. You don't need any other book. You only need the 66, which is a lie. Because if you go to the book of 2nd Ezra, one of those books that they told us not to read, wasn't it this morning we went to this, or today? 2nd Ezra. Where is it? 2nd Ezra, chapter 14. Am I still? Yes. Chapter 14. Near the end there, the Most High says, Ezra told us that he wrote 204 books in 40 days. Verse 44 says, in 40 days they wrote 204 books. And it came to pass, and now these 204 books, by the way, are what will be found in the Old Testament. Because Ezra was even before the Apocrypha. So if we check how many books are in the Old Testament without the Apocrypha, how much do we get? I don't know. Let me see. Let me try to count it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I think 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, about 40 are thereabouts. Yes, because I'm mixing with the Apocrypha. About 40 books in the Old Testament, and Ezra wrote 204. Yes? Remember, he was rewriting the law because the Gentiles, the heathen, had burnt the law. So those 40 books would have been in this. So what about the other 164 books? Where are they? And you're telling us we must not read the books. And it came to pass, when the 40 days were filled, that the highest spake, saying, The first that thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and the unworthy may read it. That is the Bible. The Bible is for the worthy and the unworthy. Every Bible scholar has the Bible, but also every other sinner also has the Bible. And the sinner will take the Bible and he will read it and find something in it. It is for everyone. But keep the 70 last. The 70 last. So, if you keep the 70 last, 70 from 204, that leaves 134. Therefore, he's saying that 134 books is for everybody. But we only got 40. So what about the other 94? So not even the books that are for everybody, we got all of it. But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. So books like the Testament of the Patriarchs are only for those who are wise. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. Yes? Books like the Testament of the Patriarchs, they add wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And let me tell you why they took it away. Psalms 83. This is why they hid books like these and why they don't want you to read the other books. Because Christianity is the white man's religion. And people try to say, oh, how can they say Christianity is a white man's religion? Christianity is a religion of white supremacy. So Christianity gave us a black Messiah, took a black Messiah, made it into a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Messiah. And then to complement Christianity, they gave us the country called Israel and put white people in Israel and said, these are the Israelites. They stole our identity, made it into a religion. So the Psalms 83 conspiracy is the conspiracy of the nations led by the nation of Edom. Psalms 83 says in verse 1, a song or psalm of Asaph or Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Allure. Hold not thy peace and be not silent, O Allure. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. The Most High's enemies and those that hate him, the nations of this world. And why does the Most High have enemies, and why do people hate the Most High? Because the Most High has no regard for them. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 17. The Most High has no regard for them. Isaiah 40, verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. He has no regard for them. So they hate him. Verse 15 says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Go back to 2nd Ezra now. Not going to that verse, we're going to another verse. 2nd Ezra 6, about verse 53, or thereabouts. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahuwah, because thou madest the world for our sakes. In the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra, the Most High spoke through Ezra and said, the world was made for our sakes. The world was made for the children of Yasharal. Look at this. The whole world that the Edomites have dictating now and warring over and everything. It's ours. That is taking up space for the time being because we would not behave ourselves. As for the other people, the other nations, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So all the nations together, the Most High compares them to a drop that falls from a bucket. You see why they don't like the Most High. I would have a hard time liking an alua like this. Psalm 83, boy, I wouldn't, because I know Yahuwah is merciful. If I was a Gentile, I'd be one of them lining up to serve Yahuwah, trust me. Because Yahuwah is great and merciful. Yeah. And he is right and true and sure and a righteous judge. So verse 3. Now these are the nations now. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharal may be no more in remembrance. You see? No. If the nations don't want the name of our people to be in remembrance, do you think through their prized religion called Christianity, they are going to want to have a document that shows our heritage? Nah. They don't want to have anything to do with a document that shows our heritage. Therefore, the book is no good to them. They ban the book. No one is to read that book. Yeah? For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. So all of them come together with one consent. Yasharal must never be a nation before us. And so that is why they have United Nations where they conspire together and everybody comes together. And that is why they have Christianity that they use to say, it doesn't matter who you are. We are now all Israelites. We are spiritual Israel. And then they have that false Israel, that false Jews, those who say they are Jews and are not, that now say that they are Israelites. They are the Jews. But they are partially honest because they don't call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Israelis. They don't call themselves Israelis. So they're partially not total liars. Although the name Israel is a corrupted name, none the same. Yasharal is more apt. And it tells you the first nation, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, the first two. The Ishmaelites are those who they call the Arab, those Muslim people. And the tabernacles of Edom are headed today by the white people of this world. So they don't want the nations. And guess who handles the scriptures? All of the scriptures are owned and handled by white people. When they went into the temple under the Greeks and the Romans, they took out our manuscripts and they took out all the artifacts and they took them to Babylon. Today, the headquarters of Babylon, the religious arm of Babylon, is the Vatican. The Vatican has a storehouse of stolen stuff from all over. I can guarantee you that whenever it's time for us to return to the land, the Vatican is going to open up and you're going to see things. Everything in the temple is going to be there. I have no doubt. I'm not saying it is, but I say I have no doubt. I would be very shocked if it was not in the Vatican. Because the Vatican has hidden archives They release certain things that the public can see, and then there are hidden archives. And I read once that there are 50 miles of shells under the ground, and they don't allow people access to it. What is in those shells? So they now, heading Christianity, hide the word from us. If you notice, even the Dead Sea Scrolls, who has the Dead Sea Scrolls? White people. Who has all our manuscripts? White people. And some of the manuscripts, some of these PDFs that you find floating around, where do you think they come from? Universities of white people. Universities have our scriptures and we cannot have it. And they tell us don't use it, and the universities use it in their curriculum to teach their thing. A lot of these theology people, they study these scriptures. Yes? But they tell us, no, do not look at them. So the nations do not want us to read things like the Testament of the 12. Let us look at the Testament of the 12, though. Let us look at the introduction, because what we're going to do today, we are going to, and of course, as you can see, download it from justtheword.org/downloads. Or you can just go to justtheword.org, click on menu, and go to the downloads page. Let's go to the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs and introduction. Let's see if we should really run away from this book. Let's read. The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs of the house of Yasharal is the collected words of the 12 sons of Jacob, which they spoke to their children. So, if you check out the Testament, each of the 12 patriarchs, what they do, and this is why it's important to know your tribe. The 12 patriarchs, they speak to their children, and they tell their children the errors that they made, so that the children would not make the same errors. Now, why is it important, these errors? Because you have to understand that our programming runs through our DNA. The Bible tells us about the sins of our fathers. The Bible tells us about the Most High putting sin on the third and fourth generation. Let's go there. Let's go Exodus chapter 20. Verse 5. Let's go to verse 4 to see the result of disobedience to this Torah. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah thy Elohah, am a jealous Elohah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. How does he visit the iniquity of the fathers upon the children? It is written in their DNA. The DNA is the programming, the natural programming of the Most High, in which is written the code of life. They call the DNA the blueprint of life. It is like a computer program. When you write a computer program, you use codes to write it. DNA contains codes in the deoxyribonucleic acid. That's what it means. Now, this code is written through our experiences. So, it is written through mRNA, which is called messenger ribonucleic acid. Messenger. These bring messages to the DNA. So these bring messages to the DNA, which change the DNA, rewrites the DNA. That is why that thing that they use to inoculate you is the mark of the beast, because what they did, they created codes, messenger RNA, artificial messenger RNA codes to rewrite your DNA. Now, what is done through experience, through shock, through sin, through whatever, mankind now has found a way to input their own artificial codes to make adjustments to you. So the Most High made you that way so that experience can change you, and so that He Himself can program you. Yeah? So these people use this thing to replace the Most High. Now, when the mRNA goes to you, it rewrites your DNA. And you now pass down that through your DNA through your children. That's how it works. So, when we come to the Most High, we will have in us the sins of our fathers. That is why Daniel, when he prayed against the sins of his fathers. Daniel chapter 9, verse 16. O Yahuwah, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thine anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city, Jerusalem, thy set-apart mountain, because for our sins and for the iniquities of our fathers, Jerusalem and thy people are become a reproach to all that are about us. So the Most High punished us for our sins and for the sins of our fathers. Yes? So the sins of our fathers are imprint in us. If we are not cognizant of it, and that is why the Most High gives us the Bible. And He gives us the Bible to see what our fathers did. When we reject our fathers, who they are, we reject the sins that have burdens upon us, that we have inherited. So, for example, before I got to understand who I was, and I read the Bible, I would say, man, those Israelites, man, why won't they listen to the Most High? Why won't they this? But when I got to understand who I was, I got to realize that there is nothing different today. It's the same thing that's happening today. Even on Shabbat, when we looked at Adam and Eve, when Adam and Eve hid from the voice of Yahuwah, we see that the people today are doing the same thing. They are hiding from the voice or the word of Yahuwah. So nothing has changed. Yes? Tobit 3, verse 3. Remember me and look upon me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorances and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before thee. Yeah? Verse 5. And now thy judgments are many and true. Deal with me according to my sins and my fathers, because you have not kept thy commandments, neither have walked in truth before thee. Now, what we have to understand. First Ezra 8:77. Let's do that. No, Second Ezra 1, verse 6. This one now shows that it is tied to our DNA. Second Ezra 1, verse 6. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them. You see? The sins of their fathers are increased in them. How can the sins of our fathers increase in us unless it is a part of us? It is a heritage. So this is the importance of the testament of the 12, because it shows what each of our fathers did so that we can know what to repent of. The Bible itself is a summary. The Bible will tell you, oh, the Israelites did this. Oh, the Israelites did that. Or the house of Judah did this. Or the northern kingdom did this. The house of Israel did this. But the testament of the 12 tells you, Benjamin did this. Reuben did this. Yes? Asher did this. So it's now more specific. So when you know your tribe, then you will know what sins will beset you. What sins are a threat to you. What sins you are weak to. What sins you have to pay attention to. So that you be not snared. Yes? All right. So let me continue. Because the sins of their fathers are increased in them, for they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange Elohim. Let's go back to the testament of the 12. Remember, we're just introducing the testament of the 12 patriarchs. The testament of the 12 patriarchs of the house of Yasharal is the collected words of the 12 sons of Jacob, which they spoke to their children. Their testaments have been passed down throughout the generations of their posterity. In these testaments, the patriarchs of Yasharal recount the events that shaped their lives and leave their posterity instruction to love Elohim. And by the way, it says, the patriarchs of Yasharal recount the events that shaped their lives. That's what we're talking about. How our lives are shaped. And they are shaped by our experiences and our sins. So we have to know the things that shape the lives of our fathers. And leave their posterity instruction to love Elohim and keep his commandments. Their father Jacob had gathered his sons at the time of his death to Barak and instruct them as well. The barakah, or blessings of Jacob in Genesis 49. And Jacob called to his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Yasharal, your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, you shall not excel. Wow. Because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it, you went up to my couch. Look at that. You see why it's important to know your tribe? Unstable as water. What is that instability? Double-mindedness. It says, you shall not excel. So when you see an Israelite, there are certain Israelites that just cannot make it. And what I want you to look at is that Reuben, one man, Reuben, messed around with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and his whole generation is pronounced as what he did, by what he did. Unstable as water, you shall not excel. Remember, one act. And this is how dangerous sin is, my people. I want you to look at this. One act. One thing he did. And in the testament of Reuben, he's going to tell you that he repented for 7 years. It did not matter. The sin went down to his posterity. You see why it is important to know your tribe. But they don't want us to acknowledge who we are, so they tell us that, hey, your tribe does not matter. We are all Israelites. It doesn't matter who you are. It does matter. Let's look at Shimon or Simeon. Shimon and Levi are brethren. Shimon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor be not united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. And by the way, we look in the book of Jubilees, and it says that this was the Father's will, not their self-will. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce. So Simeon and Levi will have fierce anger. And their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Yasharal. So look at it now. This happened how many thousands of years ago.
Yes.
And if Shimon and Levi are united together, they are going to cause problem. So Jacob says he has to scatter them in Yasharal. So Levi and Simeon cannot be too close, or else they are going to cause problems. These things are the keys. If we know our tribes, we will know what to do and what not to do, and how to be wary.
Yes.
So if we know where we are Simeon and someone is Levi, you know that, hey, don't stay too close to him, because both of you together, problems. Now, number 4, Yehuda. You are he whom your brethren shall praise. Your hand shall be in the neck of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Yehuda is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you are gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Yehuda, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until he comes whose right it is to reign, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. You see what it's saying here? The scepter shall not depart from Yehuda. Let me start from the beginning. Yehuda's brethren shall praise them. So Yehuda will be the leader, the one who is leading. You are he whom your brethren shall praise. And Yehuda will also be vicious. King David, epitome of Yehuda. The coming Yahusha HaMashiach, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, is also going to manifest this. The scepter shall not depart from Yehuda, so of Yehuda shall be kings and leaders, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until he comes whose right it is to reign. So until HaMashiach comes, Yehuda will be there leading as the lawgiver. And Yehuda will be vicious, which is why in the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, when he was speaking about Yehuda, let's go there. Jeremiah chapter 50. Let me get it on the screen, please. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse. Where is it? Let me get it. It's 50 or 51. 51. Jeremiah 51 was speaking about Yahuda. Let me see. Yeah. Because Yahuda would be in captivity in Babylon. In verse 20, it says, Thou art my battle axe. Let me go for verse 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and they input yasharal there, is the rod of his inheritance. Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. This is Yahudah. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And it goes on to tell all the different things that he will break with Yahudah. Let's go back to the Testament. Okay. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Now these things can let us, if we want to truly piece how the kingdom was set up, you can use these things. Zebulun always dwelt by the sea, because Zebulun, in the testament of Zebulun, it tells you that Zebulun was the fisherman. You see how DNA has something to do with everything? Zebulun, that one man, was a fisherman. And guess what? When the Most High was allotting the land in yasharal, he gave Zebulun the land by the sea. Because we have traits that are passed down from our fathers. That is why we have to know our tribe. Yeah? Yishakar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Now, Issachar, when you look in the testament of Issachar, you see that Issachar was the husbandman, farming. That is why it says, a strong ass couching down between two burdens, he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. And in the book of Issachar, he told you how he gave off the first fruits from the land. So these patriarchs, their children are not different from them. Let's look at Dan now. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Yasharal. Dan shall be a serpent by the way. A serpent by the way. An adder in the path that bites the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for your salvation, O Yahuwah. Dan is a very mysterious thing here. So the serpent that goes behind and bites. So Dan will not be easily seen, but he will stay in the background. And you know that they were saying that the people of the land called Dahomey, which is today called Benin. Benin? Yeah. That these were the children of Dan. These are called the serpent people. These are the people who, this is where Christian pastors, some Christian pastors, evil Christian pastors go to go under the water to that mermaid, that river spirit in Dahomey. And they say these are the children of Dan. Now, The children of Dan, they were famous, of Dahomey, they were famous for having a group of women fighters. They say that those women fighters were vicious. Vicious, vicious fighters. And what does it say here? That bites the horse's heel so that his rider shall fall backward. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. That's all it says of God. Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield. That is a nice one for Asher. His bread shall be fat. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He gives goodly words. That's another nice, pleasant one. Yosef is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hands of the mighty Elohim of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Yasharal, even by the Elohim of your father, who shall help you, and by the Almighty, who shall barak you with barakah of Shamaim above, barakah of the deep that lies under, barakah of the breast and of the womb. The barakah of your father have prevailed above the barakah of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Yosef, and on the crown of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Whoa, Yosef is a long epistle. And of course, Yosef today is the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Manasseh. Ephraim, and of course, Ephraim was the chief tribe of the northern kingdom. So the northern kingdom is also called Ephraim, which embodies 9.5 tribes, just as how the southern kingdom is called Judah, which embodies 2.5 tribes. So sometimes you hear Ephraim. When you hear, Ephraim, my dear son, I have always loved you, and I will hold you in my arms again. That's speaking about the northern kingdom. 9.5 tribes, not just the tribe of Ephraim. All right? Next, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. Let me get that meaning of that word, shall raven as a wolf. Because we have been shown the children of Benjamin here, and boy, they are not a pretty people at all. Children of Benjamin, not nice at all. Raven, R-A-V-I-N. Raven as a wolf. Let me see. Plunder, pillage. I told you these are Benjamites. An act or habit, listen to this non-Tlantla. An act or habit of praying. Something seized as prey. You see why? They just look at you and you as a prey. Non-stop, target. Like a wolf to plunder and to pillage. Man. If anyone tells me that these are not the children of Benjamin, only the Most High can tell me that these are not Benjamites. I've never seen people like these from I was born. Never. I can guarantee you the Benjamites in the West, they cannot come to these. The exact. Hey. And that's why you need to know your tribe. Because if you're a Benjamite, you know that this is going to be a problem. You are going to be one to plunder people, to pillage people, to take people as prey, to seize people as prey. Yeah? Yes. Now, the history and etymology of raven. Middle English, Ravyn. You know what it means? Robbery.
Wow.
Not Atlanta. Robbery.
Yes.
That's the meaning. You see it? Man, oh man. I mean, if you ask his tribe, guess what he's going to tell you? Benjamin. Benjamin. Yes. He laughed and said, I'm of the tribe of Benjamin.
Oh, wow.
I am Benjamin. I have never seen this. People, you hear me stuck here? I have never seen. The Most High brought us here. And he showed me that these are the Benjamites. I have never seen this in my life. The Bible's to be so true. The exact personality of Benjamin. Why, Benjamin? I want to see you in righteousness, not in unrighteousness at all. Never seen a people like this. Anyway, robbery, seizure of a woman, rapacity, booty, prey of an animal. Borrowed from Anglo-French ravine, robbery, violent seizure of property, rapacity, stolen property, strong current water. Anyway. Not Atlanta, hear this one. Going back to Latin rapina, forcible carrying off of property. Huh? Forcible carrying off of property. No, sir. That's how we say it in Jamaica. No, sir. I am stuck. No, sir. Benjamin. And it's the last one here. All these are the 12 tribes of Yasharal. Man. Benjamin. I'm sorry, people, but I'm stuck because I've never seen something so perfectly synchronized. I've never seen a people manifest anything like this. Nobody cannot tell me that this is not the land. The Most High brought us here and showed us the land, and he said, this is the land of Benjamin. And he said, these are the Benjamites. And man, what are people to the exact? No, sir, I can't even go on. But I have to. No, sir. No, sir. Benjamin. Hey, boy. Anyway, let me recover and move on. The patriarchs were the 23rd generation from Adam. From them, we get a recounting of their lives at that time. They found themselves prophesying. And by the way, what we just spoke about is why you need to know your tribe. Why you need to know your tribe. And it's from this I can know that I am not a Benjamite. I know that I'm not a Benjamite. I have none of those traits. I used to say that I have all the traits of all of these evil people, but that I realize that's not me. Benjamin is the last one for me. The patriarchs were the 23rd generation from Adam. From them we get a recounting of their lives at that time. They found themselves prophesied of and suffering the consequences of disobedience to their father. The consequences of disobedience. And they suffered the consequences of disobedience. We do the same. We have to know what they did, we have to know who we are, and we have to make sure we do not sin as they did. We can learn even more about their lives, not only in the book of Bereshith or Genesis, but also in the more detailed account in the book of Yasha and the book of Yabelim or Jubilees. Yosef and Asneth is one of the greatest love stories ever told. If you can relate to all these people as your forefathers and family, it may be that you are one of their progenies. You see why it's important to read this? But the Christians and the white people who rule this world, who don't want us to know who we are, they don't want us to read these things. Because if we found out who we are, then we could go back to the Most High in righteousness. If you can relate to all these people, as I did that already. If that is the case, then rejoice. Rejoice. It is prophesied that the children of Yasharal are the elect who will return to Yahuwah their Elohim in the latter days and love him with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength, and keep his commandments. This is the elect. And so, when you come to this now, the dividing line again is denying self. Because to love Yahuwah with all your heart, mind, and soul, you have to give up on yourself. No two ways. You have to surrender. You have to be willing to die. As it says in Revelation 12, and they love not their lives unto death. These are the people who are going to return to the Most High. The children of Yasharal. They will be Israelites, but they will have given up everything of themselves. It is like when you have sleeper cells. When you have sleeper cells, our awakening should be akin to this. When you have sleeper cells, you have people living their lives. So, for example, if you have a sleeper cell of, say, Russians in America, these people would have been Russians, but they might be even born in America, bred as American. They talk American, they're everything American, but their loyalty is to Russia. And they are trained, covertly trained, to war whenever they are activated. They are given certain signals, and when they hear these signals, they know for their entire lives they might not hear it. But whenever they hear it, bam, everything is dropped. And they are activated. They are no longer Americans. They are now Russians, fighting for the cause of Russia, to do whatever they can inside America to destroy America. That very country that they loved and the flag and they sang this and they watched American sports and everything, they forgot everything about it. That is how we are to be. They do that in the world for their country. Why can't we do it for Yahuwah? That means when Yahuwah awakens us now and activates us, we drop everything in this world and say, it's over. This is the creator of the heavens and the earth who has the power to give us eternal life, to let us live forever and ever and ever and ever. And we are willing to die for our country. Some of the people in sleeper cells, their thing is to die. They might put a bomb on themselves and just walk inside a building and blow it up. They do that for their country. But yet still, we cannot give up a little bit for our Yahuwah, who we say we love. Huh? What's wrong with us? Anyway, let me continue. As Yahusha said, if you are Abraham's children, you will do the works of Abraham. There we go. If you are Abraham's children, you'll be willing to give up everything. What is the works of Abraham? Abraham was told, leave Ur of the Chaldeans. And he just left with his people. The emunah of Abraham. Abraham was 90 years old and 9. And the Most High said, you're going to have a child. And he gave him the child. And then Yahuwah says, kill him. Abraham was willing to kill him. That's emunah. That's giving up everything. That's denying the self to the T. And we cannot deny ourselves to give up a little bit of this world to serve Yahuwah. Man, when Yahusha comes, it's going to be problems for us. Most of us. Most of us. Let me continue. And as it says in Hosea, yet the number of the children of Yasharal shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, there it shall be said to them, You are the children of the living Elohim. Then shall the children of Yehuda and the children of Yasharal, northern and southern kingdom, be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, Yahushua HaMashiach, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Which is Hosea 1, verse 10 to 11. So that was just an introduction, my people. Just an introduction. Yahuwah willing, tomorrow we will look in the testament of Reuben. We just wanted to introduce it to you all. All right, so if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. All right? Shalom, Miknia, Michael, Irma, Verstand, Yada, Erica, on my way home from UK, Shamarian, James, Makwurta, Yadaya, Verona, from out of Jamrock, Verona Lock. What is this? Tisno or TS-no or T-sno? I don't know. Just to do, Dwinda Kelly, Janelle Ellis, LaRonge, Love Light, 77, Deuce Willis, Herbert Modesto, Izzy Flint, Eternally Focused. Shalom, shalom. All right. So let's. All right, no questions. Shamarian says, I was told they were evil and wicked books, but they have more knowledge than I ever thought of. Yes, that's it. All right. Oh, TS no. Oh, that's T. Shalom, T. All right, so this is just an introduction, my people. Yada Yahuwah willing, we will continue tomorrow with the testament of Reuben. We just wanted to show the importance of the testament of the 12 patriarchs. Yes? Just an introduction. Shalom. You're welcome, Lauron and David Bodajlo.